Evolution is fact! How dare you argue, Josh? You're not a scientist. Go back to the hillbilly lifestyle, redneck. Oh man, I always love to poke the bear because everyone and their mom thinks evolution is like this, is like the sun rising in the east. It's just simply not true, man. I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, but the idea is definitive, like proven science. You just got to question everything, my friends. Everything. You got to question. If there's anything I could get more out of this YouTube channel is to get people to say, huh, I wonder if that's true. If there's anything I get with my 4 kids is, I wonder if that's true. Let me research this a little bit. And do your own research. Come up with your own stuff. Don't listen to the mob. Just because 97% of client scientists, that's freaking fake, dude. It's a fraud of untold proportions, and yet people fall for it because they say, whoa, scientists are smart. 97% of them say this one thing. That means I'm going to throw in with them because how dare I challenge? It's fraud. And the same thing is the idea that evolution is in of itself proven fact beyond debate. It's just silly, man. I mean, come on. And I posted something on a YouTube channel. Some guy was screaming bloody murder at me, and it was funny. It was awesome. I loved it. I said, yes, 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 keep doing it. You sound like a freaking fool, man. You sound like a fool because you get so angry. You get so angry. It's fun. Anyway, so I subscribe to, I donate to some charities that the Discovery Institute at Seattle, for instance, is one. And they got the, I forgot his name. He said Challenging Darwin. I got the book over there too. Anyway, long story short, it's fun. So every now and again I'll read something on this stuff because it's interesting to me. You know, I just look at all of my stuff over here. I get all kinds of different. The Energy Advocate. I get my thing on Discovery Institute, C.S. Lewis. Hell, I even subscribe to the Institute for Creation Research because it's interesting. Do I believe it all? No. Do I have to? No. But I like to hear what other points of view are. I just like being a contrarian. It's fun. It's fun to be challenging the prevailing thought. I'm telling you, man. That's how your brain smartens. It's not to be the follow of the Ansel Keys model like they all did with high, low fat crap, freaking high carb stuff. No, it's to say, that doesn't sound right. I wonder if there's a different perspective. Those are the people here are heroes. Enoch Semmelweis and stuff. Am I saying I'm like that? No, not in the least. Not in the least. I'm just saying, maybe it's because my parents, my mom in particular, is a hippie, and she said challenge everything. I don't know. Maybe it's genetics. I'm contrarian by nature. I don't know, but I love it. It's a curse and it's a blessing at the same time because I'm like, can't I just like what everybody else likes? I just can't. It's nuts. Anyway, so I'm reading some of the stuff I get because I get tons of stuff. I came across this. Problems in fish to tetrapod transition, genetic expeditions into old specimens. All right. And this is from Frontiers in Cell and Developmental Biology, Molecular Medicine from Rutgers from Department of Genetics. The fish to tetrapod, so let's talk about what a tetrapod is first and foremost. Tetrapods are 4-limbed animals constituting the superclass Tetrapoda. It includes extant and instinct amphibians, reptiles, including dinosaurs and therefore birds and mammals. Tetrapods evolved from a group of animals known as tetrapodomorpha, which in turn evolved from ancient, some kind of fish, around 390 million years ago in the middle of the Devonian period. Their forms are transitional between low-finned fishes and the 4-limbed tetrapod. So we basically, remember the transitional, essentially the missing link. They're not saying it's a missing link, I grant you, but it's basically like, we started with nothing, the primordial soup. We then went to bacteria, blah, 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 because life came from nothing. Somehow, we don't know, but somehow it did, it's proven. And then we went to fish, went to tetrapods, and then they went to 4-limbed amphibians, and then here we are as human beings. Okay. And the challenge that makes you a quack. The first tetrapods appeared in late Devonian 367 million years ago. The specific aquatic ancestors of the tetrapods and the process by which they colonized Earth land after emerging from water remains unclear. The change from a body plan for breathing and navigating in water to a body plan enabling the animal to move on land is one of the most profound evolutionary changes known. But it's unclear. The first tetrapods were primarily aquatic. Modern amphibians, which evolved from earlier groups, are generally semi-aquatic. The first stage of their lives is as fish-like tadpoles, and later stages are partly terrestrial and partly aquatic. However, most tetrapod species are amniotes, I don't know what that is, Most of these are terrestrial, land-based tetrapods whose branch evolved from earlier tetrapods around 340 million years ago. The key innovation in amniotes over amphibians is the laying of eggs on land, having further evolved to retain the fertilized egg with the mother. All right, so let's read this a little bit. The problems in fish to tetrapod transition. Okay. The fish to tetrapod transition is one of the fundamental problems in evolutionary biology, i.e., it hasn't been proven. A significant amount of paleontological data has revealed the morphological trajectories of skeletons, such as those of the skull, vertebrae, and appendages in vertebrate history. Shifts in bone differentiation are key to explaining skeletal transformations during the transition from water to land. Shift in bone differentiation are key to explaining skeletal transformations during the transition from water to land. However, the genetic underpinnings underlying the evolution of dermal and endochondral bones are largely missing. The genetic underpinnings underlying the evolution of bones are largely missing. Recent genetic approaches utilizing model organisms, zebrafish, frogs, chickens, and mice reveal the molecular mechanisms underlying vertebrate skeletal development and provide new insights in how the skeletal system has evolved. Currently, our experimental horizons to test evolutionary hypotheses are being expanded to non-model organisms with the state-of-the-art techniques in molecular biology and imaging. An integration of functional genomics, developed genetics, and high-resolution CT scanning into evolutionary inquiries allow us to reevaluate our understanding of old specimens. Here we summarize the current perspectives and genetic programs underlying the development and evolution of the dermal skull roof, shoulder girdle, and appendages. The racial shifts of dermal and endochondral bones and its underlying mechanisms during the fish to tetrapod transition are particularly emphasized. Recent studies have suggested the novel cell origins of dermal bones and the interchangeability between dermal and endochondral bones, obscuring the ontogenetic distinction of the two types of bones. Assimilation of knowledge of dermal and endochondral bones from different demands revisions of the prevalent consensus in the evolutionary mechanisms of vertebrate skeletal shift. All right. At the end of the day, all we're saying is we don't know. We don't know. There's a lot we don't know. So if you don't know it, does that mean it's proven? And so my man here writes about Jennifer Clack, and I wasn't familiar with her. I just looked her up here, but it's interesting. It turns out she just died last year, so not from COVID, from cancer. But she was one of the premier. One of the alleged greatest transformations in the vertebrate evolutionary is said to be the emergence of creatures that traded fins for feet and transitioned from water to land. In other words, fish somehow evolved from the numerous anatomical and physiological systems found in four-legged amphibians and various land-based reptiles. Despite evolutionary propaganda surrounding unusual fish-like creatures discovered in the fossil record, the necessary evidence of such monumental evolutionary leap is profoundly lacking. In 2012, Jennifer Clack, one of the most famous vertebrate paleontologists of the modern era, concluded the question of where tetrapods evolved is even more difficult to answer than that of when. Even this frustration of 2018, echoing this frustration, the 2018 paper I just read, the fish to tetrapod transition is one of the fundamental problems in evolutionary biology. Anyway, there's a lot more to that. So you should read it, man. You should read stuff. I'll put the link in the show notes. Look, man, at the end of the day, hold on a second. At the end of the day, I don't care what the conclusion you come up is. Just open your eyes, open your mind, read. Say, hey, what else could be going on here before you state it's fact, as scientific fact. It's not, man. It's not. It's a lot of hypothesis, man. There's a lot of, it could be, it was, or, I mean, it could be, let's see, he says, it's just this great article. Our lobe-fin fishes, tetrapod ancestors, we got the tiktaalik. A lot of, we believe, we think this happened. See, the forelimb had more joints than Pandrocchitis, providing more fin movement, and the pelvic girdle was enlarged and more elaborate. It's believed that tiktaalik may have pushed itself up on the land like mud skippers do today, but this is pure speculation. So it's believed. This isn't proof. This is no proof. I mean, look, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying we don't know, and the idea that this is all proven fact. It's just silly, man. Doesn't mean we shouldn't keep researching. It doesn't mean it's not interesting. It's just silly, this idea that this is proven. Stop with this, man. It's like Eisenhower said, where we have this captured society of elitists with PhDs and other letters after the name, as if no one else can do thinking other than these guys. In fact, I share with you an email I sent yesterday about this person who's because they went to one state, they had a quarantine. Long story short, a guy who's knee deep in the board of education from school says, we should just listen to the PhDs. They know better. I'm like, oh, good night, man. I hope you find this of interest because it's fun. It's fun to research. It's fun to open your mind. It's fun to hear other points of view. I will see you.